What's going on, guys? We got another good episode in store. So today we're going to be talking about the Epstein Files. We're going to be talking about some of the reactions that the files have been getting on X, on Instagram, things like that, because these are public files. The whole public, every single person, your mom, your dentist, your girlfriend, your followers, your friends at school, everybody has seen these files at this point. You know, everybody has seen the Epstein files. And honestly, I don't think that they can handle them. That's my hot take. That's my hot take. I don't think that the Epstein files should have been dropped to the public. And I'm not bought and sold by Israel or anything like that, but I mean it in a way as to they just simply just can't. I mean, I see people saying, our government is run by satanic pedophiles. What do I do? Like, how can I go to work? Like, who do we vote for? Like, their brains are just exploded. They literally can't function anymore. They're just going to be in a docile state for the rest of their life. And it got me thinking, not everybody is meant to be red-pilled. Quite literally, in The Matrix, the movie, everybody did not take the red pill. Some people were like, you know what? I would rather just live in this matrix. I would rather just live in this false reality and, live blissfully. Because honestly, living in this red pill world, the unflattering truths, the crazy, reality that I'm living in, I just can't handle that. It's too much. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to handle it. I don't want to fight with it. I don't want to oppose it. I don't want to. That's too much. I'd rather just be blue pilled for life. And they take the blue pill. But the thing about the Epstein files is they didn't give you an option. They just dropped them. Here you go. They just stuffed the red pill down your throat. So you didn't really have an option to where, okay, do I want to see these? I mean, I guess you could swipe past them, but everybody's talking about it. It's every tweet is about it. So you kind of had to see it. You kind of had to read it. And a lot of people, they just can't. It broke them. And I don't know. I think the Catholic Church had a point here, which I guess really wasn't the Catholic Church at the time. It was just the church. Not everybody should have the Bible. Because, and this isn't even a red pill thing. This is more of this is more black pilled, actually. It's more of an IQ thing. So not everybody should have the Bible because a lot of people are low IQ. They're not smart. They're not wise. They're not going to be able to interpret it correctly. They're going to see something about the Malachites and the slaves and this, and they're going to be like, wait, what? Wait, we like slavery? And then they're just not going to be able to function. They're not going to be able to understand. They're not going to be able to understand that you don't even have to understand. It's like incredulity. I don't know if you guys know what incredulity means. It's like the fact that it's an incredulity fallacy. It's the fact that you don't get it doesn't mean that it's not true. And you have to be you have to have a certain level of intelligence to understand that you don't have to understand it. And I know that sounds crazy to like an atheist, that like debates Christians all the time. Like, you're living in, you don't even believe Christianity. You don't even believe it. But that's not even the point. The point is that even if you don't believe it, or even if you don't believe one part of the Bible, or you don't believe it, but you don't see how it could be true, You don't understand it. You can't comprehend it. Doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense. It means that you can't comprehend it, you know? And I see a lot of people that will like, oh, I didn't get the Trinity. The Trinity doesn't make sense to me, so I became a Muslim. It's like, what? Bro, how arrogant, how arrogant, like the hubris you have to be like, oh, I didn't get this? All right, well, this religion is fake. On to the next religion I go. It's like, wait, hold on. What if you're just dumb? What if you're just stupid? What about that? Like you didn't put any stock in that? You didn't invest in that at all? What if you're just an idiot? What if what if the religion is real? What if Jesus Christ did die on the cross, but you're just an idiot? What about that option? People never people never look at that option. And I mean, that's because a lot of people are, I mean, okay, you're an American, right? Everybody knows Americans aren't so smart. They're not the smartest. We've been a lot of brainwashing has been done to us, a lot of propaganda, and they just don't even teach a lot of the real truth. So we're a lot of Americans, if you're just going by the education system, you don't become a autodidact. You don't educate yourself, then you're not going to be too smart. But Americans are just ready to go, oh, I don't get this thing. I don't understand it. Well, time to be a Buddhist. It's like, okay, well, you probably won't get that either. So you're lying to yourself. You're an idiot. Now face that. You're an idiot. Face that. That's what you need to face. Stop going to religion. Face the fact that you're an idiot and look in the mirror so you can fix that. And if you're an idiot, that's fine. That's fine. Find somebody that's smart and just listen to them. Just listen to them, you know. Anyways, but yeah, people weren't ready for the Epstein Files. People just weren't. I feel like the most based individuals, the most based people, people that know the most, people that can handle things like this. The file should have went to them only. People that are already in that hole, in the conspiracy theory rabbit hole, that kind of understand, they know how to make sense of this. I feel like the file should have went to them. And then we, as a clergy, as a as the elders, we would have figured out how we can solve this. Of course, FBI would need to be involved. We need to undergo investigations. You know what I'm saying? But now I feel like, where do we go from here? A lot of people can't handle that. And another thing I'm seeing, which is just, and I'm seeing this from a lot of people, honestly, probably most guys, which is pretty sad. We got to lock in. But what I'm seeing is, and I just posted this on Instagram and TikTok, what I'm seeing is men, they're reading the files, and then they're like, what? Like, these younger girls, like, how could he? He's such a monster. These young girls, like, the sex crimes. Wait, Bill Gates slept with a Russian girl? Like, what? Who, he had sex with her, and who? It's like, bro, you're a woman. You're literally a woman. You're a woman. Who cares about the sex crimes? Who cares about who had sex with who? Who cares about the young girls? This man did a blackmail operation on our government that we currently live in. Presidents, leaders, people in power that control our everyday life are getting blackmailed to pass certain laws, to pass certain legislation, to go to certain wars. They're getting blackmailed to do this, and you're worried about sex crimes. You're worried about the girl is 14. You're worried about that. We need to be worried about what legislation are we living in now that was the beneficiary of some president getting blackmailed, right? What war did we go to? Like what bill was passed? What law was like? That's what we should be focused on. We should be focused on the political side of it, not the social side of it. Like a woman, we shouldn't be focused on the social side of it like a woman. You know, and that's what I'm seeing from most people. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad, honestly. It's honestly sad. But, you know, we got to focus on these things. You know, will the FBI investigate this? Well, it's going to be tough because, well, looking at the FBI, okay, who runs the FBI? Who's the director of the FBI? Kash Patel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You talking about the guy that said the Epstein Files didn't exist? He's going to investigate the Epstein Files and make arrest? Uh-oh. I think we're in a pickle here. I think we got an issue here. You know, Kash Patel works for Donald Trump. So how far is he going to go with that as far as arrests go? You know, how would that work? I don't know how that would work, but today is Saturday night. You know, what better way to spend my Saturday night than chopping up the Epstein Files with you guys? Saturday night, chopping up the Epstein Files. You know, I'm really living the life, bro. I'm really living the life. And like I said, I posted this on Instagram and TikTok. I've been gaining a lot of traction on Instagram and TikTok, kind of posting just regular white right wing stuff, regular conservative stuff. But yeah, I haven't really revealed. I haven't really exposed myself as the based guy that I am. So that Epstein post, I think you know, maybe some women are probably gonna unfollow me for that. Um, you know, some women that were like thinking I'm just a trad con, like I'm just a regular traditional conservative Christian guy, which theoretically I am, but yeah, like nah, women shouldn't vote and stuff like that, you know. And I'm getting followed by like a lot of traditional conservative influencers that you guys would probably know. And it's like, ooh, I need to start I need to start like saying women need a, you know what I'm saying? I need to expose myself. Probably, I don't know if I should do it now or if I should like wait to like get more followers and then be like, yeah, women shouldn't be in politics. You know, drop it a little bit later, but you know, and my argument for that, for people who probably are thinking I'm insane, you know, I just think that politics is an apparatus of war. And I don't think that women, for one, I don't think women are even interested in that. Two, you know, women don't want to be on the front lines fighting in a revolution. You know, I think women have much more use elsewhere, you know, in a support role, in a sentimental role, sentimental value. There's nothing sentimental about shooting somebody in the head. You know, there's nothing sentimental about stabbing somebody in the heart or sniping somebody miles away. They don't even see it coming. There's nothing sentimental about that. So I just don't think, and politics is just it's just an apparatus for that. It's just the hand that just punches the things in play, you know. So, and you could tell because when you there are some women in the military. There's a couple women in there, not a lot, of course, but even the women in the military, they're not in the front lines. They're in like other roles. They're in other roles. They're not in the front lines because they know, intrinsically know, like, okay, yeah, I'm here, but let's relax, guys. Yeah, I'm here, you know, when we have women's rights, but let's calm down a bit. Let's calm down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like a continental soldier, you know. This is just a progressive country. I'm not like John Jay, even they know that. So that's what I think. But yeah, we'll see how the post goes. Like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think. Uh, Follow me so I can kind of make up for the unfollows that I'm gonna get. But it's a matter. I mean, it's inevitable. That's what I was thinking when I posted it. Like, should I post this? But it's like, I'm probably gonna comment something about like, the WNBA or something. So, you know, I'm probably just gonna say like, they need to lower the rims in like a podcast. So I might as well just come out as that guy now, you know. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video.